Hello, dear ones. How's everything? I hope that you're all doing good. Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome to the first science lecture video for this semester. And we were talking before the winter vacation about vertebrates such as fish. Let's start. Living things, such as animals, are classified into two large groups: vertebrates, like giraffes, birds, and snakes with a vertebral column, a spine, or a backbone, and invertebrates, like crabs, earthworms, and butterflies with no backbone. So, the giraffe is a vertebrate, the toucan is a vertebrate, and the snake is a vertebrate, since these three animals have a backbone. Why? Crabs, earthworms, and butterflies are classified as invertebrates since they do not have a spine or a backbone. Vertebrates, animals with a vertebral column, are classified into 5 groups: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Do you remember all what we said about fish? Let's see. Fish are vertebrates. They live in water. Fish have gills, and here is the gill opening. They use their gills to breathe. Fish use their fins to swim. They use their tail fin to swim forward in the water, and they use their fins to move. Fish are covered with disconnected or detached scales, and they reproduce by laying eggs, and for this reason we classify them as oviparous animals. Fish also are classified as cold-blooded animals since they do not have a fixed body temperature. Their temperature changes according to the environment. Let's do this. You'll have 5 seconds to annotate the fish diagram. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the tail fin, that's right. What about this? Did you say fin? Excellent job. What covers the fish body? That's right, disconnected or detached scales. What about these? What are these? Yes, these are fins. Excellent job. Fish use their fins to swim. What is this? This is the fish gill opening. Gills are used by the fish to breathe underwater. How do fish breathe? They take in water by their mouth, and before water leaves the fish body, gills absorb or take oxygen from the water before the water leaves the fish body. Now we'll be talking about the second group of vertebrates, which is the amphibians. Amphibians like frogs, toads, caecilians, and salamanders. Say them with me. Frogs, toads, caecilians, and salamanders. Ready to talk about characteristics of amphibians? Take a look on the frogs, newts, and salamanders' body. Newts are kinds of salamanders. Take a look on their skin. Look at the frog's skin, the newt's skin, the salamander's skin. Are they covered with scales? Do they have hair? How is their skin? It's slimy, it's shiny. So, amphibians have a naked, shiny, slimy skin. You can also add the word moist. So, amphibians have a naked, moist, shiny, slimy skin. They are not covered with scales or hair. Here is the frog's life cycle. Look, frogs grow or hatch from eggs. This means that frogs are oviparous animals. Adult frogs, big frogs, lay eggs in water, so they are oviparous animals. Then tadpoles hatch from these eggs. Tadpoles are young frogs living in water. And then tadpoles grow into adult frogs, big frogs. Look at the tadpoles. Tadpoles live in water only. So they need fins to swim and gills to breathe. Again, tadpoles are young frogs, baby frogs, small frogs that live in water only. They cannot leave the water. For this reason, they need fins to swim and gills to breathe. Then tadpoles grow into adult frogs. Adult frogs, big frogs, can live in water. They can swim in water, but also they can live on land. They have legs to move. They have 4 legs to move. So frogs lose their fins and grow legs. And big frogs breathe with their lungs and their moist skin. Adult frogs don't have gills anymore. So tadpoles change a lot while growing. They lose their fins and grow legs to move. They lose their gills and grow lungs to breathe. Frogs have small lungs. For this reason, they also use their skin to breathe. Again, here are pictures of amphibians. Frogs, caecilians, salamanders, toads, and newts, I think. Amphibians have a moist, slimy, shiny, naked skin. They are oviparous, they lay eggs. Young frogs, tadpoles, live in water, and adult big frogs live in water and on land. Young frogs, tadpoles breathe with their gills, while adult frogs breathe with their lungs and skin. Amphibians are also cold-blooded. They don't have a fixed body temperature. Their body temperature changes according to the environment. Frogs are amazing creatures. Look at this frog. Cute, isn't it? Our friend Ali Jbai in grade 4A tried to grow a frog with his family at home. Let's watch this video showing us the young frogs, the tadpoles.
خافت الصغيرة شوفي عم تتهور هيك
ايوه فوق بعض.
Tadpoles are the young frogs that live in water only. They use fins to move and gills to breathe. Here is another kind of amphibians, which is the salamander. This diagram or this figure shows the salamander life cycle. Here is the larva, which is the tadpole of the salamander, the larva, and here is the adult salamander. Do they look the same? No, The baby stage, the baby salamander looks very different from the adult, the big salamander, right? Amphibians, like salamanders, go through a change during their life cycles. They change a lot. Since baby amphibians use fins to swim underwater and gills to breathe underwater, while adult ones have legs to move and lungs and skin to breathe. This change is called metamorphosis. Okay? So, amphibians go through a change during their life called metamorphosis. Look at this video showing how a frog grows and changes, so showing the metamorphosis of frogs. That's it, we're done. In this lecture, we described the body traits of an amphibian. We said that amphibians have a moist, slimy, shiny, smooth skin. Big frogs have legs to move, while young frogs use their fins to move. Big frogs breathe with their lungs and skin, while young frogs use their gills to breathe. Amphibians lay eggs. They are oviparous. Then tadpoles hatch from these eggs and grow in water. Tadpoles grow into adult frog and they go through a change called metamorphosis. Baby amphibians do not look like big amphibians. How are salamanders different from other amphibians? Salamanders, when they feel in danger, they have the ability to lose their tails. So they forego their tails, they lose their tails just to distract their predator with their tail and disappear, and then they can grow another tail. You will be watching now a video showing how salamanders can grow new limbs. If they lost a leg, they can grow a new one. If they lost a tail, they can grow a new one also.
We're going to have a look at the way in which an amputated limb grows over the course of about 90 days in a salamander. That's a time-lapse movie, watching that thing grow. And now we're going to see what's really going on. Here's the salamander, and it's got a completely new limb. It looks perfect. It has inside bone, it has nerves and muscle, and it can even wiggle. In fact, it's perfect. Now we're going to cut it off. But here's the good news. It grows back. So don't be too scared. First, wound healing. Did you see that wound heal? Now we're watching what the newt can do that we cannot do. Cells are streaming out of the surrounding tissues into the area of the wound and forming what we call a blastema, which is a group of undifferentiated cells that are in fact really just like stem cells. And they're multicolored because they come from skin, from muscle, and even from cartilage. And these have a miraculous memory of what they used to be and are able to form a perfectly functional limb.
Okay, let's revise what we took one last time. Amphibians have a most slimy, shiny skin. They lay eggs, so they are oviparous. Tadpoles or young frogs have gills to breathe and fins to move, while adults have lungs and skin to breathe and legs to move. Tadpoles changes into adults and they are very different than adult amphibians. This is due to a change that they go through called metamorphosis. Amphibians are cold-blooded. This means they do not have a fixed body temperature. Before I say bye, let's compare and contrast fish with adult amphibians. I will start with the similarities. Both fish and amphibians are vertebrates. They have a vertebral column. Both lay eggs, so both are oviparous, and both do not have a fixed body temperature, so both are cold-blooded. What about differences? Fish have disconnected scales, while, don't forget this word, while fish have disconnected scales, while adult amphibians have a moist, slimy, shiny skin. Fish live in water only, while adult amphibians live in water and on land. Fish breathe with their gills, while adult amphibians breathe with their lungs and skin. Here is the spotted tail salamander that belongs to the amphibians group. And the other side we have the carpfish that belongs to the fish group. Let's compare and contrast these two animals. Both are vertebrates, both are oviparous animals, and both are cold-blooded. Salamanders have a moist slimy skin, while carpfish have detached or disconnected scales. Salamanders have legs to move, while carpfish have fins to move. Salamanders breathe with the lungs, while carpfish breathe with their gills. Now we're done. Thank you for watching. If you still have any questions about this lesson, please contact me. Bye bye.